I'll handle all radio communication on this flight. Hold short of the runway and I'll get our takeoff clearance. Fiume Tower, orbit 221, ready to go, holding short 16 right.
Orbit 221, cleared for takeoff. Maintain runway heading, climb and maintain 4,000.
Cleared for takeoff, orbit 221. Okay, we're cleared for takeoff. Turn on the landing lights and then turn left onto the runway and let's head to Naples. After takeoff, maintain runway heading, climb to maintain 4,000. V1. Rotate. V2. Positive rate, gear up. Set flaps 0.
Orbit 221, contact Rome departure on 129.0. Have a nice flight.
Orbit 221, switching to departure, thanks. Rome departure, orbit 221 with you, climbing to 4,000. Reduce thrust to stay below 340 knots.
Orbit 221, Rome departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 6,000. Proceed direct, Práctica di Mare.
Let's run through the after takeoff checklist. Landing gear, up. Up to 6,000, direct Práctica di Mare, orbit 221. Flaps, set to 0. Alright, Captain, climb to 6,000 and fly direct to the Práctica di Mare NDB. After takeoff checklist complete. Have a look out to the left. There's Rome.
Orbit 221, contact Rome Center on 124.8.
Orbit 221, switching to Rome Center, thanks. Rome Center, orbit 221 with you, climbing to 6,000.
Orbit 221, climb and maintain 1,000.
Up to 1,000, orbit 221. Okay, we're clear to climb to 11,000 feet. We're crossing over the Práctica di Mare NDB. Turn to a heading of 092 degrees and fly to the Frosinone VOR. A 1,000 to go. Turn the landing lights and the seatbelt sign off. Level off at 11,000 feet and set cruise thrust. Don't exceed 340 knots.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, indicating that it is safe to move about the cabin. For your own safety, though, we request that you keep your seatbelt fastened when you're in your seat during this short flight. We'll start our in-flight beverage service shortly.
Landmark 63, contact Rome Centre on 128.8.
Landmark 63, switching. Thanks.
Rome Center, World Travel 116 with you. Climbing through 3000 to maintain 6000.
World Travel 116, Rome Centre, good afternoon. Climb and maintain 1000.
Up to 1000 now, World Travel 116.
We're crossing over the Frosinone VOR. Turn to a heading of 123 degrees and fly to the Teano VOR.
From Center, Blue Yonder 562 request.
Blue Yonder 562, go ahead.
Any chance we can get a shortcut to Reggio Calabria?
Blue Yonder 562, stand by. Blue Yonder 562, proceed direct to Reggio Calabria.
Direct to Reggio, thanks. Blue Yonder 562.
Emerald Air 329, descend and maintain 10,000.
Descending to 10,000. Emerald Air 329.
Emerald Air 329, contact Naples approach now on 124.35.
124.35 for Emerald Air 329. We'll see you.
We're approaching the Teano VOR. Crossing the VOR, turn to a heading of 106 degrees and fly to a Gotti intersection.
Orbit 221, contact Naples approach on 124.35.
Orbit 221, switching to approach, thanks. Naples approach, Orbit 221 with you.
Orbit 221, Naples approach. Expect radar vectors for the visual approach, runway 24. Naples altimeter 2992.
Looks like we're gonna get the visual approach. That'll make things easy for us. approach, landmark 618 has the runway in sight.
Landmark 618, cleared for the visual approach, runway 24.
Cleared for the visual approach, landmark 618.
Landmark 618, contact the tower.
Over to tower now, landmark 618. We're below our assigned altitude. Climb to 11,000 feet.
Orbit 221, descend and maintain 7,000.
Down to 7,000, orbit 221. You catch that, Captain? Descend to 7,000 feet. Now that we're descending below 10,000 feet, turn the landing lights and the seatbelt sign on and reduce your speed to 250 knots. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now commencing our descent into Naples. We hope you've enjoyed this short flight and hope you'll join us again. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. In preparation for landing, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in the upright and fully locked position. We'll be making a final pass through the cabin to pick up any service items, and we'll be on the ground shortly.
Orbit 221, turn right heading 210. Reduce speed to 180 knots.
Right to 210, slowing to 180, orbit 221. Start a right turn now to a heading of 210 degrees. Reduce thrust and bring our speed back to 180 knots. Set flaps 1.
Orbit 221, turn right heading 240. Descend and maintain 3,000. Report the runway in sight.
Right to 240, down to 3,000, orbit 221. We're almost there, Captain. Turn right to 240 degrees and descend to 3,000 feet. We have the runway in sight, orbit 221.
Orbit 221, cleared for the visual approach, runway 24.
Cleared for the visual, orbit 221. That's the airport about 8 miles ahead, just northeast of the city. Continue descending to the runway and maintain 180 knots. The airport is about 300 feet above sea level.
Orbit 221, contact Naples Tower now on 118.5.
Orbit 221, roger. Naples Tower, orbit 221 on the visual approach for runway 24.
Orbit 221, Naples Tower, wind calm, runway 24, cleared to land.
Cleared to land, orbit 221. Okay, we're cleared to land. Lower the landing gear, slowly add full flaps, and reduce your speed to 140 knots for the approach. Let's run through the before landing checklist. Landing gear, down. Flaps, set to full. Landing checklist complete.
Orbit 221, welcome to Naples. Continue rollout, turn left to taxiway Bravo.
Ground on point 9er, orbit 221. Keep taxiing toward the end of the runway. Bravo is the second taxiway from the end. Take a left here on taxiway Bravo. Stop here. Set flap 0, check spoilers down. Naples ground, orbit 221.
Orbit 221, taxi to the terminal.
To the terminal, orbit 221. Taxi straight ahead. We park at gate A3. That's just to the right of that other A321.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Naples. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the aircraft has come to a complete stop at the gate and the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. It's been our pleasure to serve you, and we hope you'll choose to fly with us again soon. Have a great day here in Naples or wherever your final destination may be.
Set the parking brake, turn off the fasten seatbelt sign, and shut her down. Nice flying, Captain.